Motivated by the death of Nightwing, Batman begins, as we said, this is a noir, his detective case.
Maybe there's an even greater mystery that the Wayne's murder was covering up.
But don't do it, because if you kill him, we can never be together.
Wait, what'd she do? She tickles him?
Slash the Riddler's throat.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. This is Rogue Theory. I'm super excited to talk about the Batman today.
Yes.
Did you guys see that there's a set photo that has a huge clue about what the movie could be about because of a potential working title? We're also going to touch on the Suicide Squad. There also is a bird in the studio, and it is anything can happen when a bird is in the studio. I said earlier I want to. The bird is fighting me to even talk. I want to see it peck someone's eyes out.
Oh, I wanted to poop on somebody.
I didn't say Eric's. Oh yeah, bird poop would be very funny. Yeah. This show could use some bird poop.
Let's try to get the bird in frame.
Real quick, I want to call out that Eric's headshot is still in the background because Erik has been winning Rogue Theory recently. We will replace it soon, hopefully. Yeah, guys, with me this episode are Erik the Voss wrestling.
Hello.
Tommy Bechtold.
So great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
And welcome back to Jeff Maccubbin.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Jeff Maccubbin.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Two of us are old. All right. Did you guys see this set photo?
Yes.
From the movie that may be referred to as Batman Vengeance, maybe, or the Batman. It's a working title. There was a chair, you know, those fancy director's chairs or actor's chairs. Erik has one that says Erik on it.
It says Mr. Voss on it.
It says Mr. Voss on it. His mom got
fancy.
it for him, and he's done dirty things in it.
They're not that structurally sound.
Neither is he.
Ah.
So this chair had the working title on it of Vengeance. So people are thinking, well, why would a Batman film be called Vengeance even as a working title? And that's what our Rogue Theories are going to be about today. You guys are going to tell me why the Batman is going to be a story specifically about vengeance.
All right, here's my rogue theory on vengeance. We have seen Batman in recent films break his one rule in a way that not all fans cared for. That's right. This Batman will wear white pants after Labor Day as much as he wants while not killing anyone either. Right. We're having Robert Pattinson as the Batman. I think we're going to see him get real close to that line, just not cross it, but dangerously close to the line in a way that's kind of freaky and kind of scary. We're talking torture. We're talking broken limbs. He's going to bash people's hands. He's going to do a Robert De Niro stomp on someone's knuckles. He's going to curb stomp the hand.
Robert De Niro does that?
Well, in The Irishman he did.
Oh, I just thought you meant in general.
So, okay, what if the vengeance is like a true angry vengeance for the death of his parents? And when you and I are working on an episode of Big Question where we're looking at the emblem, his new emblem, and a lot of people, and I pointed this out in my breakdown of the teaser, it looks like it's made of parts that it could be like a gun part. Like it looks like two handles or the split handle of a gun. And one of the theories out there is that this is Joe Chill's gun and that we've seen that in comics before. So what if like this Batman takes vengeance for his parents to a whole new level where he is going as far as to torture members of the crime families that maybe were implicated in this murder of Gotham's greatest philanthropists, the Wayne family. And what if we start this Batman in Arkham Asylum year 2? What if he got arrested for some of the murder, not some of the crimes he's committed? What if this Batman, the world knows that Bruce Mann is Batman, and that's how
His name is Bruce Mann, and
Bruce
they should have put that
Mann.
together.
Yes.
Bruce Mann is Batwing.
Bruce Mann is Batman.
Batwing.
Like the way that Todd Phillips made Joker something that was really hard to ever try to put back into a cinematic universe. What if this Batman is something where it's going to be completely an Elseworld universe where everyone knows who Bruce Wayne is? We know he's Batman, and he gets out of Arkham, and now he's going back and he's getting revenge, and he's just kind of detached from any kind of moral code whatsoever.
I think that could be true because if you look at the outfit, I think you can see he also is putting the pearls of his mother's necklace that gets ripped.
Yes.
That was a
In
dirty
every
version
movie.
of that picture.
Yeah.
It's just covered in a pearl
Wonderful.
necklace.
Yeah.
thing that's interesting that you point out, aside from the theory, I think by the way, that's my guess out of the gate is sorry guys, I'm already just teaming with
Wow.
Eric.
We'll see ourselves out of it.
But this idea that what vengeance story is more prominent for him than wanting vengeance for the people that killed his parents,
Sure.
It's driven him to do really insane things like dress like a bat. But something else that you just pointed out is his secret identity is out, and part of me is like, yeah, wait a second. Who cares?
Right.
It's not like, oh, my family's now in danger. His family is also bat vigilantes too that are also regularly in danger. Why does Bruce Wayne really need his secret identity?
I think in the past it was something that he did so he could hide in plain sight, that he could continue to run Wayne
billionaire.
Enterprises and have access to the weaponry that the company was building. Whereas if you are a true vigilante, you can't even walk the street unless it's at nighttime and you're masked.
And it's very in right now to have no secret identity. Like Spider-Man got revealed at the end.
But
Superman
also,
in the comics just
Iron Man
revealed it.
is the Batman equivalent in terms of the billionaire who uses his own tech to fight crime, and was just like straight up like, yeah, I'm Iron Man. It's me. And then nothing changed about his life, really. He just got to be Iron Man.
So maybe part of Bruce Wayne's mission in this new Batman story is to go after the government and the infrastructure that allowed Gotham to collapse, including like the new district attorney that's going to be played by Peter Sarsgaard, who's so good at playing like an asshole. Like, I feel like he's going to be the villain that Robert Pattinson's going after.
So it's going to be a more ground level, not super villain, rather crime families. And just general murderers.
Yeah, like maybe there's an even greater mystery that the Waynes' murder was covering up. Like maybe Thomas and Martha Wayne knew something about like the crime families, their implication to the politicians.
Yeah.
That's why they were killed.
Some people are going to fight you on that and be like, no, it should be a random act of violence because that's what happens in this town. But it can still be a random act of violence and what happens in this town, and still, indicative of like, why is that guy running? Maybe they happen to see something in that moment and he has to kill them for that reason. And he actually is going to try to kill Bruce too, but Bruce runs or whatever. It doesn't necessarily need to be a robbery. It can still, without it being like the Wayne family actually has been at war with the Joker family for decades or something, like it doesn't have to be this weird.
Yeah. And Joker reframed the death of the Waynes as like kind of a random act of violence in a Joker riot as opposed to someone trying to rob them. So I think fans will be less precious about like the exact motive for why they were killed. But either way, it's a reflection of the insanity and violence of the city.
Cool. I like it. And I think it's going to happen. So you only get one rogie.
All right. I'll take it.
I think it's just so likely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's how this works. Tommy.
Okay, so let's get serious, guys. This is all about vengeance, and it's not vengeance for his parents, you basic bitches. It's vengeance for Nightwing. Nightwing, a.k.a. Dickie G, Dick Grayson, Gray Day Every Day, is dead. Nightwing is dead.
So he's an adult, not a kid.
Nightwing's an adult man, a fully formed adult.
He's not killing children.
He's using Manscaped razors on his body to keep it sleek, keep it tight.
They didn't pay for this episode. We don't need to shout that out.
Okay. He's using generic razors on his body to keep it sleek, keep it
But
tight.
he's motivated by Bang energy drinks.
He's filled up on Bang, and God knows he loves that Jumanji card game.
Wait, do you have a deal with the Jumanji card game? We don't have a deal with the Jumanji card game.
I have a deal with everything Jumanji, okay? If it says Jumanji, I got a piece of it. So anyway, motivated by the death of Nightwing, Batman begins. As we said, this is a noir, his detective case. He is the world's greatest detective, so we are going around investigating. We've got Paul Dano as the Riddler, I'm fairly certain. We're going to investigate the Riddler. We're going to investigate the Penguin. We're going to investigate Carmine Falcone. I assume there'll be other famous Batman, if not necessarily supervillains, rogues, for him to question, all leading to clues about a mysterious killer that we find out, very similar to the VR game Arkham Knight, was actually...
Oh, wait. This is a huge spoiler for that game. So if
The game's been out for 4 years.
Arkham VR, we get called out for this stuff all the time. Just know this is a big spoiler for who the killer is in Arkham VR, and Tommy already forgot.
The killer is, checks notes, Batman. That's right, because there is a character in this movie played by Peter Sarsgaard that's going to be an aggressive district attorney, but I think he might not be who he says he is, because I think when we do a little deeper digging into who this character is, It's none other than Dr. Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. Scarecrow, okay, who has a serum that can make people pursue their worst nightmares, have violent fantasies and delusions. And I believe that this character, who is also going to be investigating the murder of Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Nightwing, is really just creating the cover-up because he tricked Batman into murdering Nightwing. That is my rogue theory, and I rest my case.
Wait, so was he just in like a hallucinogenic rage when he killed him? Or was it like a lover's quarrel?
Ooh.
Lovers quarrel. Lovers quarrel.
Jeff, if we could share a rogie for it, I'm willing to push it towards lovers quarrel.
I'll allow that. You guys can hold this rogie together for the rest of the segment.
Joint custody of a rogie.
If you put it down, though, you guys both lose a rogie. Or we can cut it in half.
Cut it in half.
Okay, then you are the true dad of the rogie, Jeff.
That's just because I don't have good arm strength. I didn't want to be exposed as a weak link.
The weak link of the show.
Oh, well, no, I'm for sure of that.
Tommy, I love it.
Thanks.
I really like the idea of a detective story that has memento elements to it.
And who hires Batman for this? Batman hires himself. Who usually, when the person who hires the detective in a noir case usually ends up being the guilty party, or at least associated with the guilty party.
Does he dress up as like a bombshell,
yeah,
though? And he's like, I need your help.
Save me, Batman.
Save me, Batman.
Save me, Batman.
Very cool. So Nightwing has been murdered.
Yes.
Secretly, it's been by Batman, but he's trying to solve the murder of Nightwing. And so what happens when he needs to get the vengeance?
The vengeance is against himself.
So he
commits himself to Arkham. The ultimate final straw for Batman is to stop himself from stopping crime by stopping the most dangerous person he knows, which in this case is him.
Self-vengeance.
Yes. Wow. Self-vengeance, my favorite kind.
You're just a masochist.
Uh-huh.
So then he locks himself away, and that's where we leave it.
That's it. I think this movie's a
sequel.
standalone. I think this is like Joker. This movie exists in a standalone piece. And I understand that may... I mean, the reason this is a rogue theory is because that's a tough pill to get your DC comic fans to swallow, is like, we've made this epic Batman movie, and in the end it ends on a kind of chilling note. But if we're going to try something new and daring, Joe chilling note, that's right, no chill, Joe chill as I call him. Yeah, I think, this one's going to be a bit of a, like, downer. It's going to be a bit of a downer.
Well, it's a bit of another rogie for you.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
Reminder, your other rogie went to Jeff, but you would
That's
have
okay.
had it if you had 5 seconds of stamina.
I had no integrity. I'm just so weighed down because my body hasn't been scaped. Manscaped.
Oh my God.
Everything's so heavy.
I've scaped your body before.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was a great weekend.
Great. So, Jeff, change our picture in our mind right now to anything else.
Well, I think
Please.
why did they hire Robert Pattinson? Because he is hot and has a huge fan base, all those Twilight ladies. So they want to make this a love story because we do know that one Selina Kyle is going to be in it.
Yes.
So picture this. He's at like some kind of banquet event as Bruce Wayne. He meets Selina Kyle. They're flirting. He loves it all. The Riddler comes in, holds it hostage. He can't do anything because he's Batman. And then she gets thrown out of the building, kind of her origin story. And so now he is on vengeance to figure out.
Real quick, important detail.
Yes.
This not on the first floor? The banquet?
This banquet is on the penthouse of the highest building in Gotham.
Okay, important difference. Because
Rooftop
thrown out of the
banquet.
building like, and don't come back is a weird origin story for Catwoman.
No. Plummets down
Gotcha.
to her supposed death. So this is about him trying to get vengeance against the Riddler. But every time he gets close, the evidence gets stolen away by some new burglar on the beat. So now he's like, I have to find this burglar who's trying to beat me to the punch with the Riddler and get the Riddler. And then, spoiler, it turns out this other burglar is none other than the Catwoman because she wants to get revenge on the Riddler. But at the same time, they've like fallen in love. So at that pivotal moment, he's just like, she has the Riddler and she has like, I don't know, a knife to his throat, a gun to his head, something. And he's like, don't
Kitty
do
claws.
it. Yes, kitty claws. Like, and he's like, don't do it. Because if you kill him, we can never be together.
Holy
dead.
Wait, what'd she do? She tickles him?
Slash the Riddler's throat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it wasn't clear. Your pantomime wasn't clear.
That was like a tickle to Eric.
Yeah,
the rest of us were like, that was a violent gesture.
But like hot too. I think it was because he started to whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Wow, that
Love
is
it.
really
Tommy,
dark.
wait. Try whispering something.
I like all kinds of pickles. Sweet.
No matter what you say, it's hot as hell if it's whispered.
Spicy.
So he is trying to solve a murder that didn't take place.
Exactly.
So he looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
But he just wants vengeance because he hit it off that one night with this.
Or maybe
this
they were
woman.
dating for a while. Maybe
they
there's
love
already
each
been something
other.
established.
Gotcha.
We need to have one Zoe Kravitz, Robert Pattinson sex scene. In
Yes,
it, right?
absolutely.
least.
And I think
Yeah.
it should be hardcore.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, full on pegging.
For the DVD.
Yeah. For just the DVD release.
This is coming out
Blu-ray
of-
doesn't have it, but-
If you buy the two tape VHS, you get a full penetration Batman.
the third
sex.
tape is just
The weird thing is
unedited.
Colin Farrell's in the scene, but we're not saying what he's doing.
Yeah.
Just watching.
Jeff, you get a rogie, and then you get an additional rogie
Yeah.
because that theory was worth 2 hot as hell rogies.
Yay.
And then also, you still have the rogie earlier from being a nice daddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Guys, give them back to me in a tweet.
Need to find out who Nightwing's killer is? Look in the mirror and you'll see clearer, comma, Batman. Flower Friday, Batman. Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Commissioner Gordon, Vicky Vale, Nightwing, at Robin.
That's the only one that has an ad in front of it. Ad Robin.
The rest are just concepts.
Names.
And Robin is the singer Robin.
Yeah, she probably does own that.
ROBYN.
Yeah.
Call your girlfriend.
She might be dead. Or Catwoman. Call her quick.
Okay, my tweet is Batman's vengeance is to avenge his parents who were actually killed as part of a conspiracy between the Maroni and the Falcone crime families, which goes all the way to the top, baby. A thread. 1 dash. Second tweet.
Several bad puns later.
And finally, we find out that Peter Sarsgaard is actually the man who pulled the trigger.
Well done. Yay. And Jeff.
Riddle me this.
Great. Love
What?
it. All right, guys.
Damn it.
Is there any more to it?
Yes. Riddle me this. What's more dangerous than vengeance? Love.
Fucking whispered it again.
It's a good tweet.
He gets a whisper.
Oh my God.
I'm very intrigued, actually. You guys did a decent job because I would watch all of these movies.
Yeah.
Because Batman doing a detective story that's noir does need to be this kind of thing, and I'm feeling it. I'm not loving what Tommy's doing with his eyebrows, but that's fine. It's unrelated. Yeah, he doesn't even know he's doing it, so it's okay.
I'm just smiling.
So, guys, great job on those. I want to hear your theories in a second about Suicide Squad because we also got a little bit of news about that, and we're saying on a DC kick. But first, real quick, just Eric, tell them what we're doing this week for Big Question. You already kind of did a little bit.
Yeah, we've been working on this whole idea of the Batsuit, right? There's this new Batsuit. There's this test footage that
We have
just showed
some
us
mock-ups
the
that we
design.
were able to put together that
Yeah.
shows what it probably actually looks like if you fill in the above nipple gap and
Right.
the ears even.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys have been tweeting us about this emblem, asking like, how is it changed? Because it looks different. And of course, they do that with every new iteration of Batman. But this one looks like it can be removed and turned and weaponized. So like, Philip and I are currently working. Neither of us are seeing what each other are working on, but we're currently working on like. We're trying to reconstruct this emblem to see what kind of weapon it could be and to see how effective it would be in hand-to-hand combat. And I'm really excited to see like what you've come up with because right now mine's kind of a mess.
So watch that episode of Big Question, please. We really like it. Let's go ahead and move on to Suicide Squad. Okay. So there was a set photo that was released. We don't know much about this movie. We just know that James Gunn is completely, maybe even disconnecting it from the first Suicide Squad movie.
Sure, yeah.
It's also, he was like, no, it's not just going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. So we know it's going to be still in the vein of the darkness of the Suicide Squad, not tone, but rather people die, right? Unlike Guardians mostly. So the one thing that we can add to this story now is that we've seen that for some reason the squad goes to South America. And the way you guys nodded makes that feel like you guys are not sure what that is.
So, okay, explain to me real quick.
So not Southern America.
So there's America, which is the greatest country in the world. And then there's Hat. There's the
Canada?
country north, Hat.
It's called Hat.
That's called Hat.
Hat.
And then there's Boots. So they're going down to Boots.
Is Boots Central America or Mexico or all the way
Oh,
down?
there's a Central America.
Dora the Explorer had
is.
boots.
Boots.
Great. And then Jeff, how do you want to insult my people?
And by your people, you mean YouTubers, right?
YouTubers. So we don't know where exactly in South America, but there are theories that it might be Brazil.
Okay.
Yes. So go ahead and pitch me why the squad is going, as they say, down under.
That's right. Yeah, Australia, South America, the same continent. We do know that Benicio del Toro is playing a character named the General or the Mayor. I don't think he's been named yet. But what if it's going to be kind of like a Narcos situation, or even better, Fast Five, the best of the Fast series, where they have to go to Brazil, and there's this warlord, drug lord, basically, who has taken over a town, and they have a heist. They drag a safe through the streets of the city. It's amazing. Imagine the Suicide Squad being sent by the U.S. government, but the U.S. government cannot sanction. They can't send SEAL Team 6 in there. They have to use these squad of criminals to take out this drug lord, because he's too powerful. He's got access to some kind of new thing. Maybe in this case, granted, not everyone was crazy in the first Suicide Squad about the whole Enchantress storyline where she goes to Peru and she goes in this cave, and that's where she ends up becoming Enchantress. What if there's some other kind of relic or talisman from that cave that Benicio del Toro has gotten access to, and he has to be stopped? So they send in the Suicide Squad, but now it's James Gunn who's in control of it. So he's kind of making fun of the first one a little bit, of how goofy this mysticism was, but now he's applying his kind of sense of humor to it, and they're addressing past Suicide Squads, but this one's kind of we got to deal with this again, but now it's in the hands of Benicio del Toro, a drug lord who's taking over the small town, potentially all of Brazil.
Yeah, what's very cool. So you're taking Dirty Dozen story, which Suicide Squad is kind of based off of, right? But something that the government's well, we don't really care about these people, so we can send them on this ridiculous mission. But you're kind of combining with Heart of Darkness and Apocalypse Now.
Oh, sure.
Where this idea of the Colonel Kurtz character that is somewhere deep in the jungle, theoretically, or whatever, and has created maybe a whole compound that is not even penetrable.
Right.
And then they have to go in and take him out, except you add to Colonel Kurtz now some sort of talisman that is giving him insane powers.
Right. He actually has powers instead of he's just gone delusional.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling it. The amount of a full quarter rogi.
All right. It is a little simple.
Yeah, but it's straightforward, but I like it. Yeah. Tomas?
All right. My theory, and I'm pretty proud of this one. I think that the gang's back together. Look, it's not a sequel, we know, but there are a lot of similar actors. So there are actors from the first movie that are reprising their roles. So I think it's going to be impossible to truly separate them. But I don't think that is as important to the central plot as it may seem. They're going to discover that there's a compound or a factory setting up that is mining precious metals and energy sources in South America with this unknown power source that is allowing them to ramp up production, just basically destroy the ecosystem of where they are. And they need to send the Suicide Squad down to stop this, stop them from just mining into the earth and destroying and creating all of these climate problems. When they get there, they discover that Benicio del Toro's character has somehow, through some technology, maybe a Lex Luthor scientist or someone with genius intellect, maybe Benicio del Toro is playing a character from Comic Book Canyon that does have a science background, has captured Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, and has him in a medically induced coma where they are stimulating his brain to synthetically create or artificially create the impulse to create power with his Green Lantern ring. So they're basically mind controlling Hal Jordan to manifest his will as a power source, and that's what's allowing them to create these super drills and super harvesters that are basically destroying this ecosystem of this country in South America. So they have to go in to basically unplug Hal Jordan and
just kill him.
No, I think he'll be the Green Lantern then. There's also could be a way to kind of back channel in some DC cinematic universe characters, like whoever the new Green Lantern is going to be, or maybe it is the death of Hal Jordan, which gives us Jon Stewart or something like that.
Awesome.
As another Green Lantern.
You could backdoor Jon Stewart.
I would love to backdoor Jon Stewart, both
He's
of them,
hilarious,
Green
yeah.
Lantern and the Comedian. But maybe Jon Stewart. We don't know who Jon Stewart is, but maybe there's soldiers that are helping, that are assisting the Suicide Squad with Rick Flag, with Joel Kinnaman's character, and maybe one of them is Jon Stewart. And so he gets the ring.
Oh, cool.
Maybe it is.
Goes
Maybe
over
Hal
him.
Jordan does die. Maybe he is dead. Or all but brain dead, except for the what they're using him for. And then when they unplug him off of the machine that is using him as a power source, Jon Stewart gets the ring and becomes a new Green Lantern, and then that leads us to a Green Lantern movie.
Do we know who Idris Elba's playing?
I don't think officially. There's a lot of rumors that he's playing Vigilante, which we've seen in Arrow.
Yeah.
They've used on TV. They've used that character in Arrow, but that was kind of, I don't know.
I'll just throw out there that you could have a Jon Stewart there.
Yes,
potentially.
absolutely.
Can I throw in a pitch of a scene?
I'm hearing all
yours?
pitches. Yes.
I can at one point Harley Quinn get the ring so that she can have a big Green Lantern mallet.
Yes,
Sweet.
I
That's
think
very
that,
fun.
and then I think Jai Courtney's got to get it for a second and throw a massive green boomerang.
Yes.
I think that pitch is accepted and integrated, as they say in Key and Peele. It's going in the movie.
It also reminds me a little bit. Is it in Flashpoint where Superman is held kind of like for his whole life against his will?
Yeah.
And then he becomes this little disgusting weakling.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah. So, but doing that with Green Lantern,
Yeah.
very cool. Tommy, you get a full quarter-rogi. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
And then Jeff, what do you got? Why are
Mine's-
they in South America?
Mine's a little far-fetched, but just
There we go.
work with me here.
Okay.
All right, a bunch of celebrities are in Brazil to protest this new area that's being the rainforest is going to be demolished. But then this militia has taken over and taken them all hostage. But because Republicans are in power, they don't care about these dumb liberals. So Amanda Waller is being funded by the liberals to save them.
Soros.
Oh, I love it.
And the head celebrity that's down there that's been kidnapped is Pete Davidson. He is going to play himself in the movie. And then
Immediately, I'm like, people are sacrificing themselves for Pete Davidson.
well, it's for the money because
got
they're getting the money. But when they get down there, it turns out the twist is it is actually they're not there to save the celebrities. All the celebrities get mowed down immediately, and it is actually Lex Luthor who's being held hostage.
Ooh.
And they are actually the militia people are actually good guys trying to stop Lex Luthor from mining a kryptonite meteorite so that he can stop Superman.
I love this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And just remember, Pete Davidson gets brutally murdered in this movie.
What do you have against? Are you Team Ariana?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Are they
guess
against
it-
each other now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
She thanked
Man,
him in her song.
that's a full-blown Rogie.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
solid. I want to hear him again in maybe like a little bit of a tweet form.
Sure.
Suicide Squad is Narcos meets Fast Five with Benicio del Toro as a drug lord in a small South American town who needs to be taken down.
Yay.
Yes. Okay. Lanterns of Green? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Just wasted so many characters.
Unplugging Hal Jordan and maybe meeting Commissioner Gordon. Suicide Squad, a backdoor to the DC Cinematic Universe. Of course.
Of course.
So it was a pirate the whole time.
Yeah, that's the twist.
What's the environment's last hope? The Suicide Squad.
Jeff Bezos pledges $10 billion to save environment.
But Jeff Bezos is essentially Lex Luthor, right?
Yeah.
He
Does-
billionaire.
Yeah. I think that's the look he's going at.
And I'm out of normal things to give, but somebody else. How about this?
It's a lot of Rokies.
All right.
Wow, I've never seen that many rogues.
It's a
in my life.
roguey feast.
All right. These rogues each represent the Suicide Squad in South America. And whoever most quickly can come up with ways that the Suicide Squad goes out gets a member of the Suicide Squad. So just start shouting out how a Suicide Squad member goes
Captain
out.
Boomerang, koala bear syphilis.
That's one for Tommy.
Harley Quinn sniffs the wrong thing.
She just sniffed something bad.
Killer Croc, a Florida gift shop that harvests crocodile teeth.
Rick,
Too much rhyming.
Rick Flag, he just gets a paper cut infected.
Oh no, Rogie.
Idris Elba says something offensive, gets canceled, and kills himself.
That's an actual suicide. And I gave them all out.
Diablo riding the Maid of the Mist in Niagara Falls and having the water put out his fire.
Is this a dream you had?
It's a fantasy that I'm having right now.
I like
Diablo.
Tommy's Diablo idea. Can I?
Thanks.
That's my rogie.
Get you. Now you lose both of those. You
I'm so sorry.
You try to
Tommy.
break the rules of the game. This is why you don't show up for work.
Every time you ask me. This is my only job.
That's not true. Gino's west.
Gino's East.
Disease. Riverside.
Sherman Oaks.
In Sherman Oaks.
All right. Well, let's recap. What are these rogies at?
3, 2, and 4,
5.
5.
3, 2, 5.
Tried to lie, but I trust Eric a lot, so you're at 4. Because that's what Eric said you had. All right, and guys, it's time for rogue questions.
Woo!
Oh,
Great.
Yeah.
All right, this could change everything in ways that don't matter. Okay. All right, guys. Harrison Ford said in an interview that this week that he doesn't know what a Force Ghost is. Explain a Force Ghost to Harrison Ford in a way that he'll understand.
Have you ever wanted to see your grandpa again because he was so kind? If he was good enough, you'd be able to see him as a ghost that could talk to you, but he must have fucked up some other way in his real life because he ain't a Force ghost. He's just a regular ghost.
Self-censor. Very nice.
Hey, you know how that like voice of Callista Flockhart is always nagging at you? Imagine if it was in hologram form. That's a Force ghost.
What's a hologram?
Okay. Oh, crap. All right, Harrison Ford. When someone dies, Harrison Ford, they go to heaven. But what if God told them, "Get off my plane of existence"?
Oh.
And that now you have a Force ghost.
He only understands his own movie quotes. It's a rogie for Eric.
Yeah.
All right. Leaked footage from the set of Venom 2 shows Woody Harrelson's Carnage has, get this, a different haircut than in the Venom 1 end credits scene.
What?
What incredible in-universe explanation do we have for this undescribable hair change?
So Spider-Man webbed up his hair, his curly Sideshow Bob hair, and because his webbing dissolves after an hour, it's like the perfect conditioner. It just dissolves into his hair follicles and made it straight.
Oh, I think that Electro came in and Carnage tried to give him a hug, but there was a puddle, and so the current of electricity went through Carnage and electrocuted his hair.
I think, it just he saw his mailer and he got it was a discount coupon for Supercuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like simple explanations the best. You get
Have we
your rogie
established that
back.
there are supercuts in that universe?
Yes, it's a supervillain, superhero, supercut coupon.
Great.
Yeah. Guys, and the plot of the upcoming Bill and Ted sequel came out this week, and in it, the two heroes have 90 minutes to write the best song ever. I'm now going to give you 90 seconds to come up with the best song ever.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and cut to 90 seconds from now. Now.
Several bad puns later.
2, 3, 4. Bill and Ted, back again. Bill and Ted, best of friends. Bill and Ted on a roller coaster. Bill and Ted calling girls and ghoster. Bill and Ted on Tinder. Bill and Ted in a blender. Mix them up. Now it's Ted and Bill. Mix them up. Have you got your fill? George Carlin's dead, so he's not in Bill and Ted. That's it.
Oh.
Did we do it?
He's going to take over.
That was
No,
20 seconds.
what's so impressive, it just kept going, and it kept changing, and it kept flowing, and he didn't even take any breaths. That's a full other rogie for Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at
it was.
that.
He really
That's a
was the
phallic
strongest
rogie arrangement
link.
right there. 2
Jeff.
perfectly manscaped lawnmower, 3 balls. Oh, wow.
Wow, that's got to be a high score of rogies, right?
All right, let's get our final point totals.
I have 4 rogies.
In my worst showing ever on this show, I have 2 rogies.
Really?
Yes.
You did a
I
great
have
job.
6 rogies.
Wow.
Wow,
Well,
Jeff.
that is fair, though.
Jeff, do you want to
You guys
give any
can
of
do
your
better.
rogies to anyone
No,
else?
keep them all. You just
Keep them. You are
can
no.
have
No.
mine.
No.
I want you to have 8.
You have mine too.
Oh my God, everyone.
Yay.
It's a George Baileyville of rogies.
Oh.
Captain,
Those
my
are those
captain.
rogies.
All right. In the highest point total yet, you are at what do you got?
12.
12 rogies for Jeff. Give it up for Jeff. Jeff, if you can submit a headshot, we will put it
Sure.
on the back there. And then Tommy's wish. Oh, one day. Erik's wish. So
Done
sorry.
it before.
And Jeff's wish. Erik must look into the camera and confess his love of Lucky Charms cereal in his best Harley Quinn accent.
Oh.
I love Lucky Charms cereal. The horseshoes, the clovers, the blue moons, they all taste great, but not as great as Mr. J.
Oh, God.
Ew, what? It was like a perfect ad for Lucky Charms until
Thanks for watching.
Until it got even better. I agree.
Thanks for watching the last ever Rogue Theory.
God, it's not milk.
That's all I ever wanted.
It's Ace Chemicals. All right, guys. You can file your complaints with these people individually on their social media. Erik, where can we find you?
At EA Voss everywhere. And on this channel, obviously, we got some great videos coming out this weekend. We're going to be talking about Clone Wars, guys. It's back. And yeah, we have this really great episode of Big Question that I'm very excited to hear your answers on how this suit is engineered, because it's really crazy.
Tommy?
At Tommy Bechtold. Venmo at Tommy-Bechtold.
Somebody's going to send you a request for $6,000.
That's fine. And they'll have it because I'm rich.
Gino sees.
You can follow me at Evil Jeff on Instagram, or the podcast I host, Comic Book Queers, at Comic Book Queers.
I thought it was Queens.
That works too.
I thought it took place in Queens. Guys, and then follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Filup Molina. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to get this as a podcast. Tommy's getting really ready to clap, so if everyone just gets ready for Tommy to clap, he will end the episode, and this will be it for us. Goodbye to everyone, and Tommy is almost ready. He's almost warm, and here it is about to...